Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
What, did they feel like you're a bot?
Yeah, well, I think I'm a bot, which I promise I'm not. I just don't always have a new way to say thank you.
But
Oh, come on, a
I
bot.
think George does what Botas did, where they both, more so than Max, will say, play by the rules, and they assume that they'll be rewarded for doing things correctly.
Yeah.
But that's not how you win in F1. This is Sarah on the Grid, and you're listening to the Turn 14 podcast.
oh, excellent. So then, let's we're in. Let's make it happen. We're super excited. I think when we started this podcast, one of the things that we wanted to do specifically was build a community, not just in our local community, but really a community across all of Formula One and motorsports. And that's probably our main objective.
That is the goal.
Yeah. So today's episode is actually a little special because we get to do just that.
Yeah.
She's a fellow F1 creator. Her content is both fun and educational. Not to mention she brings probably the biggest and brightest energy to every post. Ladies and gentlemen, Sarah on the Grid.
Sarah.
Hi.
Nice to have you.
Nice to have you.
Oh, I am so honored to be here. Thank you so much.
It's our honor, honestly.
Yeah.
First, let's just admire her background. It's super sick. We were just joking around about it, but it's probably the coolest background we've seen.
Yeah.
All of my
It's pretty solid.
F1 books on display for everybody.
Love it.
I don't have all of the merch that you have. You have some very cool merch in the background.
Yeah.
Well, funny story. We actually got the Lewis signature on there.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mark was able to meet him when we went to the Miami race last year.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
That's a whole funny story that I'm more than happy to get into with you if you want. But
so cool.
Any opportunity I get to talk about it, I'm like totally down to talk about it.
If you haven't
He's
noticed,
a Lewis Hamilton fan. Yeah.
big Lewis.
I would
Hamilton
make it
fan.
my whole personality. So we were walking, there would be a whole story rehearsed, ready to go.
That's sick. That's sick. Well, again, we have a couple things that we want to talk to you about. Again, we want to learn who you are. But before we do that, we wanted to just quickly maybe touch on the Hungarian Grand Prix that happened. Oh, now it feels like forever ago.
I know.
I know. Now you're going to test my memory.
Oh no, don't worry. We just kind of cheated and looked, so no worries. But yeah, pretty sad race for my guy Charles Leclerc. And Lando came through with the W. So that's going to make a pretty interesting, battle for the championship. What were your thoughts on the race?
I was honestly really disappointed that they started Hamilton on the hards. That really frustrates me. Wow. Yeah, because I understand the theory behind that. If you have Max Verstappen, who for some reason takes an engine penalty, you put him on hards at the beginning of the race, he's not going to lose that many positions.
Yep.
But, seeing the way that Lewis has been competitive this year in that Ferrari, I just knew as soon as the race started that he was going to lose a bunch of positions. And that's exactly what happened, and wasn't able to work his way back up. So
Yeah.
that was a really frustrating part, just to see another poor strategy execution from the Ferrari team.
I'm not surprised.
Right? Are any of us
brand.
surprised?
It's on brand.
Seriously.
So that's been frustrating, but I've been loving this McLaren battle at the front. That's
So
been
much fun.
so much fun to have, especially when you look back 3 years ago when Max was half a minute above the entire field. To actually have some competition, not only in the midfield, but at the front of the field, has been a lot of fun for me.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we're in for a treat because what we were talking about a couple episodes ago is that they're so far ahead now. It's going to give them the opportunity to really race and really be close racing, which is going to be exciting for us to see. And they could risk, maybe a touch or two, but we're looking forward to it.
Lando can't risk any touches or twos, honestly.
No, not at all. He's already had too many. But,
That's so funny.
I think we're lucky with the McLaren boys because they're actually close. It's actually the McLaren being the lead team.
Yeah.
Is one thing, but the fact that they have two drivers that are so head to head this season is just making it best watch for me.
Yeah.
So it would suck to see one just kind of take it away.
Yeah, that's
and we
true.
have a winner set by halfway through. So
Well, we're all praying for the Dutch Grand Prix, so we'll see what happens there.
Yeah, I think Zach Brown is certainly appreciating this competitiveness they
yeah.
have with each other. Like,
yeah.
Oh yeah.
right?
He's having a blast.
Right?
He's
Team boss
having a-
dream scenario to have both of your
Yeah.
guys competing for number one.
Yeah, and Christian's gone, so now he's even happier.
Yo,
So,
yes. But the rumors are
I'm nervous about where he's going to come back. I don't.
yes,
Exactly.
the villain arc right now
That's
is being developed.
okay.
It's something out of a Marvel movie, honestly.
It's amazing.
Right.
Well, okay, so enough about, the actual race stuff. We want to learn about you, and we are very, very curious to learn about you because your content actually came pretty organically on my end, and I've learned so much, actually. A lot of the things that one of the ones that I learned the most about was undercut and overcut. I always had a tough time trying to understand that. And your episode actually cleared that up for me, to be honest with you.
Oh, good.
yeah.
Some of us are more visual learners, and
Oh, yeah.
that's what I'm aiming for with those. And, if suitcases can replace cars, then
And the little Legos and everything. Like it was great.
Well, the first question we have for you, Sarah, is, who is Sarah on the grid, and how did we get to this point?
to this point. Well, I started my account back in March of this year, so we're in 2025.
Wow.
And
That's fast.
yeah, I kept calling my friends up and telling them about, oh, I'm so excited. The season is starting, and this is the rookies and preseason testing. And my friends, bless them, they were like, Sarah, we don't care.
That sounds about right.
We're like, we love you. Your enthusiasm is great. You need to go on TikTok or Instagram. Like, leave us alone. Go share this with love. I think we all have that type of relationship with somebody in our life. So I was like, you know what? I had just come off of some really big freelance projects, and I thought, why don't I try this and see what happens with it? And then fairly quickly, I think within the first couple of weeks, I sort of found that, like you say, that eagerness to build a community. I found myself eager to answer fan questions that I saw once I started, following a bunch of people in F1. And I would see all these questions in the comments and nobody was really answering them for new fans. So I thought, well, I could do that. I could help people out. I know these things. I'm not an engineer at, in F1, but I can help with the simple things. And then it kind of just snowballed from there. It's been kind of crazy.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
That's
Like,
really good.
Even if you're not an engineer, the way you break down like the educational side of things, and like honestly, I wouldn't be surprised. I'll be surprised if you're not a teacher. If you do, you have that background at all? Because I am curious.
No, actually, my background's in marketing and film.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So complete opposite.
The complete opposite.
Okay.
But I think I really struggled with science and math when I was in school because the way I teach is I'm a visual learner,
Yeah.
and I need metaphors and I need to connect to something that I understand on a deeper level. And so by time I understand all of the different concepts and what's happening, at that point I can communicate it through my own voice versus the way that I've learned it, if that makes any
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah.
So I see myself as a translator from the technical to the accessible.
Yeah. Well, it works.
Yeah.
I
Thank
tell
you.
right now, it does work.
Yeah. I found you through TikTok actually. So
Really?
I-
Because that's like my smallest audience.
yeah, I think it randomly came up, or but one thing I got to give you props for is that you are very engaged with your community no matter the platform, because I believe
I really
I've
try.
probably commented at some point and you like actually responded back, and so it's really nice because you don't get that a lot, especially with content creators. So I think that's one thing that sets you apart from a lot of people that are out there, because it's really cool to see that engagement.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Well, I feel very much like you. Like I was looking for, clearly, friends to talk to about F1. So that was definitely my motivation for going into this. And so every time I get a comment, it's like, yes, somebody to talk to about this F1 thing. So I get really excited every time I get comments. And I try really hard to stay on top of them because I enjoy it. But I will tell you, Instagram has suspended my account 4 times now for responding to nice comments.
Oh
Yeah.
my goodness.
What, do they feel like you're a bot?
Yeah, well, I think I'm a bot, which I promise I'm not. I just don't always have like, a new way to say thank you. And then sometimes, so I'll usually respond to comments in like the notification center. So anybody who has social media, like there's the little alert page.
Yeah.
And it'll show you a comment there, but it won't always show you, even if somebody says something very simple and nice, Instagram will have hidden that comment and somehow marked it as like, oh, this is like against community guidelines.
Yeah.
So when I respond to it, not knowing that, because I'm in like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's like, oh, why are you
Yeah.
responding
They're
to
gonna
these
make it
bad
easy.
people? Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this goes to, you're learning just as much as we're learning about this whole
Absolutely.
social media stuff and how to, do it appropriately and ethically and try and be out in front of as many people as possible. So
Yeah.
I guess it's a learning curve, but it seems like you've had a lot of practice, especially with your growth.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's been all organic growth.
Love
I don't
that.
pay for any boosting or anything. Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Sure.
I haven't yet.
That's great.
Yeah.
But I've just been pleasantly surprised. I think I ended up accidentally falling into a niche that
Yeah.
was underserved. So many new fans or so many fans that didn't grow up with racing, looking for just a little bit more information. So.
You mentioned
Yeah,
that
and I
you
think
were.
that's-
Go ahead, Matthew.
Yeah, no, I think that's the great thing about what you do. There's a lot of new F1 fans. I'm one of them, and any opportunity I can get to learn and to catch up about what's been going on, especially from everything we've missed, it's really helpful, and I love it. I mean, this sport in general has just been very addicting to me, and content like yours really kind of helps with all of that, and so.
Oh,
That's awesome.
thank you.
No, it's been cool.
I feel like there's always something to learn in F1, like no matter
yeah.
what is going on,
Right.
like there's just always something to learn. So it's fascinating to me from that point of view. Yeah, we'll never be bored.
And there's definitely the audience for it.
Mm-hmm.
And so
Yeah. So you mentioned earlier, Sarah, that you are looking to build a community. Do you have a community out by you that you can go and do like watch parties and things like that?
There's one bar that we've tried that's very crowded.
Okay.
And so as like nice as that was, I am so interested in the strategy and the commentary and the data and all of that sort of like going on. I like to sort of pretend I'm a strategist while I'm watching and like, why are you doing that call? So I found it harder to follow in a public setting like that. So I started going to a small watch party with some friends, and they are just starting to get into
Okay.
F1. So it's been a really interesting experience to be explaining what everything means while we're watching it. So it's kind of like a live Sarah on
That's
the
awesome.
grid
But
session
isn't
with
it exciting when you have new fans that are like just getting into the sport and then they ask you all these questions and you just like, please keep asking away. Like, here's what's
Yeah.
happening.
Right.
Like, you see what they did there? They're not supposed to, like, you're.
Are you taking notes? Write this down.
right?
It is cool. I love that. Listen, I really love the fact that the fandom in the States is growing. Like,
Yeah.
it's really
Right.
it's really great to see.
Yeah.
I love that. And I think part of it has to do with more accessibility that we have currently with
Yeah.
streaming. Because when I was growing up, I didn't have cable, so we didn't have ESPN, and I had no access to F1 races. It just, that wasn't something we had. So to have the option for streaming at a smaller sort of package and to have YouTube clips for people that aren't getting F1 TV, I think that plus the Drive to Survive sort of push
Oh, yeah.
is opening it up to more people that would have never had access otherwise.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, we're lucky. I mean, we in New York, there's a bar out here called Fela, where they essentially just stream every single race.
Nice.
And we went and we have met so many great people. The fans there are dedicated. We have people coming from Jersey taking the train over into New York just for these races. And it's
9 a.m.
amazing. Yeah, 9 a.m. races.
Yeah.
It's really,
Wow.
really great to see. And it's something that continues to inspire us to kind of continue to put out content, try to get more people. We want to do like, we want to partner with other bars, do giveaways and things like that just to kind of help. So it's been pretty inspirational, really.
Oh, that's so nice
Yeah.
to have like a real in-person, like local community.
super
That's
fun.
so supportive. I love that.
super, super fun.
Surprised how many people in the New York City actually are fans, and I'm loving it.
Yeah.
I'm loving it all, really.
Yeah, it's been great.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you mentioned that you didn't have an opportunity to watch Formula One. When did you actually get into Formula One? What made you fall in love with this thing?
Well, I was always a car fan, so my speeding tickets will prove that.
Tara's out here driving like a McLaren 720S
Yeah,
that we just don't know about. And she's just like,
No. I was just speeding in a Mazda. But I would go to like car shows with my dad. I was one of those weirdo kids. I didn't have boy bands posters on the wall. I had like, this is very embarrassing now, but I for some reason when I was little, I really liked the purple Prowler cars. So I had like a poster of that. I know, it's so cringe. And we would watch like Rush Hour movie, and I was always obsessed with the cars. And then I started getting into Top Gear.
Oh, yeah.
So I had access to that, and of course, the Stig and all the F1 drivers that were interviewed. And then once I could start to afford, very American, once I could afford it, the streaming of ESPN, I got that, and then switched over to F1 TV. So I don't know how long ago that was. I always say like about a decade ago.
Okay.
oh, wow.
So yeah, and it was one of those things where I was watching them sometimes,
Yeah.
but I wasn't, fully
Invested.
into making sure I saw every race.
That's so cool.
I was just, yeah, and I was so busy at the time that I would see like the more local races, but then
Yeah.
that kind of snowballed into an obsession, and now I'm waking
Well,
up
listen,
at 6
I'm with you
a.m.
right there. I mean, I've only been watching this for a year
Yeah.
now. And
That's
Yeah.
my
I'm pretty
fault.
obsessed. So a couple
It's
years
very,
ago,
very much your fault.
a couple years ago, you go, Ben, you gotta watch Formula One. It's Lewis Hamilton guy. He's like, I was like, all right, that's cool, man. And then now, for his 30th birthday, he was like, I want to go to a race. I was like, you know what? Let's just do it. And
Yeah.
then the rest is history.
We went to the Miami Grand Prix last year, and it was my first Formula One race to go. But I've been watching it. I've been playing the game a lot. Like I play the game.
cool.
I guess that's what I could say has really got me into Formula One, because I'm very big into sim racing and all that, and getting them getting them into it was obviously Drive to Survive is also great. I love the behind the scenes stuff, the drama, all that too.
Yeah.
But dragging them along,
Yeah.
convincing them to go to a race. And the crazy thing is, I always told them too, Miami, I don't want to do Miami. Miami's the influencers. I want to go to Texas. And
It's
all
too
that stuff.
hot, too many celebrities, it's too flat. I know,
Yeah.
I've heard it.
But
We actually did a big.
Shout out.
We did a big because we got
did.
start-finish seats.
Yeah.
And
Oh, wow.
it was insane.
yeah,
Oh,
it
wow.
was insane.
I wish I could just take some of my friends around here. I'm like, this will get you into it. Just show up to a race.
Yeah.
Just see it. The moment you're there and you start smelling all the oil and just hearing the cars, it's amazing.
That's awesome.
It was
It's
cool.
infectious, right?
Have you been to a race?
No, I'm going to be going to Austin this year, and that'll be my first race.
I know. I want to go to Austin. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm very lucky. I'm originally from Texas, and I have family that live in Austin, so, I'll be going with them, and we're going to all go together as a group, which I think will be, extra nice
So
to have
much
some
fun.
friends that I know when I go.
All those
so-
friends they've been listening to you talk about this for so many years are gonna get dragged into this, and then they're gonna fall in love. They're gonna
That's
be like,
the plan.
I am.
That's
like,
the plan.
that is the plan.
That's
I see what
awesome.
you're doing there.
Are you gonna do anything like fun? Anything special down there? Like, are you gonna do the pit walk or anything crazy like that?
I don't know yet, so I'm crossing my
Okay.
fingers that I can. I've reached out to a few different people. I have some potential interviews, but I have my flights booked.
Okay.
So I'm going, but I don't have all of the details worked out yet.
Okay.
So
Can we get a little like, are you gonna vlog this or?
No, I just saw that the flights were cheap and bought them. That's as far as we've gotten. And yeah, so and I've been in contact with a few different people who've been super nice in the F1 community. So I'm hoping, but I don't want to say exactly who and what yet.
Sure.
Okay.
But I can certainly tell you once it happens and it's confirmed. But what I've sort of gathered from other content creators is that a lot of the decisions and approvals on certain types of access are really decided last minute. So I figured, I'm like,
Okay.
well,
I see.
yeah, so we're pretty far out. It's not until October.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I thought, well, I can always buy my own ticket,
Yeah.
no problem. I'll figure that out and then
Show up.
That's
and
it.
then if it doesn't work out, it doesn't. But if it does, then I'm already there and
Okay.
I've got plans. So
Well, do you have a dream race you would like to visit or
I
go
mean,
to?
in addition to Austin, which I always felt like is a really fun race, or at least it seems like a great race for, it's not exactly a street circuit. There's a lot of fun. I want to go see the tower view. But I mean, come on, like the Brazil race always has some drama.
Yeah.
So that would be great. I think the Mexican GP, especially, I would get seats at that first
my
turn.
goodness.
I feel like that would be like there's always a little something that happens there. Somebody goes off, somebody tries to overtake, somebody crashes into somebody else.
Yeah.
So at least for the American side of the country, those I would love. Silverstone, because that's such a classic, and going to Melbourne for Australia too.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of those would be fun, but all of them, I'd be happy to go to all of them.
If anybody's listening,
Long story short, just
I
don't
can't
wanna
say
go
there's a
home.
race I wouldn't accept. Go
seriously, I go
to.
to preseason testing, Bahrain. Like,
Yeah.
Okay, I would go to that too, for sure.
That's insane. I mean, I think my track that I would go to, I gotta see Spa. I gotta see Eau Rouge. I
Yeah.
gotta see that.
That would be amazing.
And part of me wants to see Monaco, even though I don't really. We can really talk about this. It's very controversial. But Monaco's kind of cool.
Maybe it'll be a little bit better next year. Maybe.
Just a little bit.
Maybe
By
we'll
that
have
much.
one overtake.
well, let's see. Well,
I doubt it.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be hopeful.
No, we have our thoughts.
Yeah, we have our thoughts. We had a whole episode about that, and it's gonna get us really angry and upset. Well, so let's talk a little bit more, maybe about your channel. What's the most exciting thing about running your channel?
I mean, honestly, before I had this channel, I just had like my personal Instagram that I rarely posted to, and I was just hanging out on the Explorer page kind of thing. Once I created my F1 account on both TikTok, which I joined for this, and Instagram, I was genuinely surprised by the amount of community that already exists. Like your podcast and like other creators trying to educate or trying to share news updates and all of that. Before I had been watching Sam Collins on F1 TV and YouTube kind of fan, just trying to always understand the technical side of it. But there's so much fun and support within the community online that it's really, I wasn't sure what this account was going to be, but there's so many people out there who are supportive and just want to be friends.
Yeah.
And
I love that.
I mean, I know that sounds repetitive, but I just loved that was the most exciting part for me, because if it was only angry fans who didn't care about,
Yeah.
things, it
There's
wouldn't
that
be
too.
nearly half as fun. They are there, yes.
They're always there lurking in the comment section,
Yeah,
just waiting.
just
Yeah.
waiting.
That's
Yeah.
great.
But that's been a great joy, and then getting to connect with other fans and like maybe do a collab or do a podcast.
Yeah.
I mean, this is what like kind of a fan dream I'm living, I feel like. So
That's great. Well, we'll love to hear it. Well, you have a unique experience because, one of the questions that we have down for you was, have you faced any unique challenges as a woman in the F1 creator space? And how have you navigated any of them?
I mean, I say this with a little bit of, sexism is everywhere,
Sure,
right?
sure.
So for me, it wasn't my first time experiencing, some off-color comments,
Yeah.
we'll say. But I will say I have been surprised more by how much support I've gotten. Occasionally there are, random comments. Somebody the other day, it was so funny. it was just the laziest insult. They're like, "Oh, you think you know what you're talking about? You're such a Karen." And I was like,
What? What does that even mean?
I'm not. I don't think I'm an expert. I learned something, so I'm sharing it. It was the funniest comment. Yeah, I was like a Karen. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
It's kind of not quite my brand. I
Sure.
mean, I've had people call me preschool teacher. That I accept.
Okay.
That is a valid
Okay.
comment.
I like that
so
one.
it's certainly there, but at this point in my life, it's not the first time I've ever heard comments about anything. So I'm very thankful that on my channel it's slim.
Okay.
I've maybe gotten truly only a handful of comments, but I know for other women who delve more into the lifestyle and fashion and feminine angle as a creator, that they're experiencing a lot more pushback than me. And I hate seeing that, but I am thankful that most people just see me as a nerd and they appreciate it,
Yeah.
or they,
Yeah.
keep scrolling.
Well, I mean, so one of the biggest surprises for us when we started going to the bar out in here in New York and starting to meet all the fans, we came across a huge influx of female fans who were so into it, and quite honestly, Sarah knew more about all of this than really anyone.
Yeah.
And it was really inspiring and great, and we had interviews with them, and especially
great.
F1 Academy was a big topic of discussion around that time too. One of the main reasons why we got Ava Dobson on,
Yeah.
which was really, really cool.
Oh, that was a great interview. I
Yeah,
loved
she's
watching
fantastic,
that.
and I hope she did good things.
Yeah, isn't she like cool? I like her.
She's really
for
cool,
somebody her
yes.
age. She has a good head on her shoulders for sure.
Yeah, and she was very mature, but also kind of funny, and like I felt like very open
Yeah.
and honest, which is not always something that people can do in front of a camera. So I really, really liked that
No,
one.
she was great. I mean, she was talking to us about some of her experiences as as a female in the motorsport world, and that was also interesting to hear. So, I mean, again, part of what we want to do is kind of get the word out and get as many people to follow this and just build one big community. And it's going to start with interviews and getting everyone involved. Really,
Yeah.
that's really exciting.
I'm so excited that you're doing that. And I think coming from a male perspective, like wanting to help women too, sets a better example for those that maybe haven't seen that as well.
Yeah.
So I appreciate
Well,
it.
yeah. So we're brothers. There's only 3 of us. We have 4 more brothers. We have no sisters.
wow.
So
Yeah.
yeah, it's definitely an angle of a place we're not really familiar with.
We are mama's boys though.
Yeah, big time.
I was gonna say, y'all
Big
must
time.
have quite the mom.
That's big time.
Yeah.
That's a lot of brothers.
That is a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot. Pretty fun.
Lots of fights.
Lots of fights.
That's what happens.
Yeah.
It's just rough love. That's all it is.
Well, in that same vein, do
Yes.
you think Formula One is doing a good job in growing its female fan base? And is there anything you think they can be doing better?
I mean, I think we've come a long way from the Bernie Eccleston years. So I certainly think it's gotten better. And women, and I know that this is going to be controversial, but I love that we don't necessarily have, grid girls anymore,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
using women as props. Like, I'm all for beautiful women on the grid, doing the paddock walk, everything. Like, please, I'm here to support them. But having it be by choice and there as a spectator versus a prop was really kind of, So I think there are some improvements there. I think we're really lucky we have a lot more female F1 commentators, especially technical engineers like Ruth Buscombe and
Yeah,
Brendan
Ruth.
Collins, right? Like to have
Laura Winter.
Laura Winter, yes,
great.
exactly. So we've got amazing women showing up in a professional capacity and being taken seriously. So I love to see that. I think the sport itself still has room to grow. I think the F1 Academy is amazing, but that doesn't mean we're going to have a woman in the car in the next year or two, because we have to create those earlier opportunities for women to work their way up into F1, the sport. So I recognize that as just a fact of building skill, and it takes time and opportunities to
Absolutely.
make that an option.
I agree 100%. And I think what Susie Wolf is doing, acknowledging that, making it like, let's not just put somebody that's a woman on a team. Let's allow all of these talented young girls to start developing and giving them the platform to start building off those skill sets and learn the dynamics and all the different aspects of like motorsports in the world. Like not only just you being a driver, but you could become a race engineer or a strategist or all these different avenues, or a team owner, like, with Williams, for example, and so like I feel like regardless whether, whether they want to be a driver or not, it just feels like the exposure is great. And I love the fact that all the drivers are completely supporting it too. Obviously, like
Yes.
like George
yes,
Russell.
me
and all
too.
them.
Like to have all the drivers talk about it being in support, and nobody is asking for, or I feel like nobody from my community is asking for tokenism. Like we just want the opportunity to prove like that
Absolutely.
I deserve this role, or I can, adapt and learn this. And so, I mean, I'm loving it. And I think there is the opportunity for women to compete on that level. Like, I don't know not all other sports offer that opportunity,
Right. Right.
So.
Right.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's a lot, and I
great.
feel like. Go ahead. Go ahead,
Yeah,
Matthew.
no, I think it's great with how popular F1 is getting just in general, that they are, putting in this effort to, like you were saying, Mark, with Susie Wolf, trying to introduce people to, introduce more women, obviously, to F1, but introduce other fans into the idea that, like, there's this whole other, like, group of people that we haven't really seen be able to compete in any real way. And I think it opens up the door for the future of F1 to really kind of become such a well-known, sort of more common sport that people in the States especially, I think, start to watch, because I think there's so much about it that is interesting and will grab people's attention regardless of male or female. And so timing wise, it's perfect. I think
And I'll
Susie
say it to
and
this
the F1
day.
Academy stuff is great.
Yeah. I'll say it to this day too. I mean, F1 Academy, or really F3, F4, those races are fun as hell because the cars are all equal, and it's just straight racecraft, and it's super cool to watch, and it's really head-to-head racing, and it's really, really fun to see. I was actually watching a race recently on YouTube. I came across one, and it's just incredible to see just the wheel-to-wheel racing that you come across, and sometimes you don't even see as much of that in Formula One either, but it's just fun.
Yeah, with all the cars that are different, and for anybody that says like, oh well, only the best drivers are in F1, there are a lot of people watching and enjoying college football that aren't, that doesn't, just because they're in college and they're not pro level doesn't mean it's not entertaining. And so I apply that same metaphor to the lower Formula series.
Feeder series.
Now I'm still learning about all of the drivers in there because it's there's definitely like turnover, but it's so entertaining. That's why we enjoy this as a sport. So to see it and to see like them deliver those entertaining aspects is just so much fun.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Well, let's change gears a little bit. Let's talk a little bit.
Okay.
We're at the summer break
Is that
now.
a pun?
Yes, you saw that, right? I had to put that in. How would you rate the season so far?
How would I rate the season so far?
So far, or I also put down any standout moments or disappointments.
Well, there's been quite a few disappointments. So
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Just
Right. I don't know how far, but I am loving the season. Like I said, a few years ago, watching Max just bored. I mean, honestly, he was, if you listen to his radio, at the front of the race, being 30 seconds ahead in front of everybody else.
Yeah.
It was like, well, so we're all that was like a very frustrating year. So the fact now that the field is just so incredibly tight, it's so close, and we've got a real battle going on at the front. We've got, now you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think everybody but Colapinto has scored points, and he came in later in the season, so that's nothing against him. So that hasn't always happened.
No.
I mean,
No.
we've lived through the Mazepin years. Like it is not always like you're having everybody compete for points. So it gives an opportunity to sort of cheer for everybody, and then we've had crazy like firings and driver switches.
and
I've been so
Hulkenberg getting
impressed.
points.
Hulkenberg and
Podium.
points.
I'll
Yeah.
wait to
Podium.
Podium.
So
yeah.
happy for it.
Oh, to finally have that opportunity. Yeah. I think everybody was happy that day. Like most people were sad for Lewis because it was, a home
Yeah,
race
yeah.
and he's won there so many times.
Right.
But it was kind of, it was made okay because we could all cheer for Hulkenberg to have that
God, listen.
opportunity.
Yeah.
We saw it live in Fela,
Yeah.
and
Nico.
everybody.
Everyone
It was
was
so
just-
cool.
It was emotional, Sarah.
Yeah.
It was emotional. And
Absolutely.
I think everyone really, it just goes to show you like how big of a moment that was.
Yeah. And
You all kind of root for that underdog,
Yeah.
and he's a little bit of an older driver. So, like, going so long without it, it was a huge moment.
Yeah.
And I've loved what JV has done with the Williams team. I mean, I feel like they've come a long way. I think they've done a little bit better in the last two races, but they really struggled getting the car to the end of the race, which it was hilarious to hear Alex talk about. So it's like we're there or we're not, and we're there and we're not. But it's better than we're not for the whole season. I think he's trying to build something really sustainable, and to see that ecosystem in contrast to the Red Bull sort of Alpine sort of corporate ecosystem. Out of the two, I can pretend that I'm in F1, and I would love to be on the Williams team versus some of the other teams. So seeing that develop, and I hope we see that across some more of the other teams, because there's a lot of money and power, and you never know what you're gonna get.
no.
Right. Someone, the Audi that they'll be joining next year. I think they need someone like James Vowles to kind of help get them there, because I would love to see more teams like that. I think what he's doing with Williams is amazing. He's definitely going to be the team to watch for the next few years and see how well they can pull it together. But Hulkenberg needs a better car.
Maybe a different livery. Show up
Yeah,
in a little Audi. So yeah, I think this season you mentioned it, Sarah. It has been very dramatic and a lot of crazy stuff. And I tell you one thing, Netflix is in the corner, right? Just
Yeah,
looking
they
like this.
better, man.
Like, oh, I cannot wait to put this together.
They better.
They're having a lot of fun, I am sure.
yeah.
Well, when Nico got podium, the first thing I said to the guys was like, Netflix, don't fuck that up, okay? Because like you dropped the ball on Lewis's story coming back and winning, and it wasn't really like you last year you didn't do anything about it. So hopefully they learn from that mistake and they really highlight the Hulkenberg podium thing. And
Yeah, I hope so too. Even if they weren't there, like filming him specifically that day, I hope they, get some shots after, because we had a little break
Yeah.
after that, and really help hype it up for him, because that really was like a great accomplishment. And anytime somebody says, "Oh, this driver, blah blah blah, too old," it's like, they're still delivering, and that was a great performance. And I think it'll mean better things for Audi and Kick Sauber next year, because they've been able to get points. They'll have a little bit more budget, and they can work that into their development.
Yeah, well, next year is something to talk about, because you're going to be very busy, Sarah. We got so many new things coming.
I know.
And I'm looking
We
forward
do.
to hearing about what you have to say, because we're like confused about 2026 regulations, X-Wing or X mode and things like that. And it's going to be interesting.
Mom.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting, but we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. Are you looking forward to any of those changes?
Oh, I really am. I am so excited. When I was making my guide for that, I did really deep research trying to understand it, because like you said, we don't know, and we don't have the cars on track to really predict. But I have a few things. I think part of the design about making the car smaller, about removing the aerodynamic Venturi tunnels from the underside, removing, moving the wheel covers and everything. It's going to reduce the amount of dirty air coming off the car, which I think is going to help make for closer racing. Having the MOM button, it's just a terrible name.
Mom.
So having, don't push your mom's buttons.
That is good. That's gold.
Why?
That's
why,
gold.
Why can't we just call it the Mo, like the Mo button, Mo power? I think
Moped is another one.
right, so much better. I think that's going to open up a ton of strategy options for drivers. So one of the reasons why Hulkenberg was able to get that podium was because he repeatedly ignored his strategy team. He made his own calls and just didn't listen to them. If you go back and listen to the radio, it's yeah.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
and you know
Like Charles Leclerc needs to take some notes because
yeah. Right. I mean, and that's
Yeah.
part of the reason why, Lewis did so well in the sprint and won that. But anyway, so the MOM button is an actual battery power boost, which is different than DRS right now, which is an aerodynamic change. And the DRS is limited to the DRS zones. Now that makes sense, but the MOM can be used anywhere.
That's gonna be
So if you're going around a corner and you want to pass the guy before his braking point, well, maybe he's drained his battery. He used his MOM earlier in the lap. So now you can use it on him to overtake. And so it's not going to be quite so, oh, we only overtake here and here is where we charge. It's going to be chaos. So I think it's going to make for a really interesting season. And the cars are going to be more similar to the 2022 season. No, sorry, not 2022. Maybe 2008. Like we go way back. Sorry.
Oh wow, okay.
And so I think drivers like Hulkenberg, Alonso, Hamilton, these drivers who were used to driving in that style of car are going to do potentially better in this new car.
I think that's what most of these guys are waiting for. And, like
Yeah.
Alonso's been waiting for like the past 4 years already.
Oh
but
my gosh, right?
like, yeah, it's definitely gonna be interesting to see because it kind of incorporates some of like the old school driving styles, which a lot of them are used to, and the ground effects. This generation of cars has been so difficult for people to really fully understand. And the whole purpose of it was to create, get more closer racing and disperse the dirty air so that way. And I was talking to the guys about why the rain situation has been such a pain in the butt lately is because of like,
It's
you could
because of
see
that.
visually that instead of dispersing outward, like the 2021, like that generation of cars, like it disperses up and it's like creating this wall of like, you can't see anything. And it's just been such a huge pain in the butt. And I think a lot of people are dreading, and it's another reason why so many teams took so long to finally get to the point where they are now, where they are
Yeah.
like somewhat competitive, and I'm gonna be really happy to see this kind of go away and kind of
Yeah.
see the new
That's what I'm
cars.
most excited
'cause,
for about next year.
Yeah,
Wet tires. I want to see them use wet tires just once.
yeah,
Please.
I mean, I don't know, because if you remember Spa from what was it, 2021, where they were on wets and they did some laps behind a safety car and they're like, okay, half points. I would have been so frustrated if I had been a fan buying a ticket there.
yeah, I remember that.
So I think, Pirelli has definitely filled the brief because F1 says, look, I need you to make wet tires that are this amount of sturdy and that dispel this amount of water. So they hit the brief for what they were told they needed to do for the sport. But that plus the wheel arches, and you end up with those huge rooster tails that
Yeah.
are just impossible to see through. But 2026 will also bring us additional lights on the car. So I think along with the rooster tails being gone, we'll have more visibility with the lights. So I'm hoping we see some, a little bit of better
It's gonna
racing.
be exciting. We're gonna have a new team on the grid, which is
Yeah.
gonna be super
I'm
super
so
fun.
excited about
Oh
Cadillac.
god.
Yeah.
Have we confirmed yet who's the drivers?
So supposedly we're going to be hearing an announcement during Monza, Sergio Perez, Cadillac. And there's another gentleman, I forget his name, but I'm really hoping it's Valtteri.
Me too.
Sergio.
Yeah, I'm really hoping that Botas comes back. Yeah.
Whoever's been managing Valtteri's social media
He's
presence
great.
over the past maybe 6 months
Oh my God.
gets a
Gold.
raise. Yeah, they need to get a raise.
Yeah.
It's gold. What's one thing I wish we would have Yeah, what's one thing I wish we would have seen? Valtteri during the Lego race in Miami would have been
Yeah,
Cinema.
that would have been incredible. I want the Lego race every year. I want them to
Seriously.
just keep bringing it back. The drivers had so much fun.
Yeah.
Like, just piece them back together, bring them back to the
That's
track. Like, please. Please.
We did a top 10 moments of the year so far, and I think Lego came, number 2?
I think so. It's like number 3 or
2.
something like that. It's
Yeah.
definitely up there. Literally my favorite moment.
Absolutely. I have no shame. I'm like, that was so much fun to watch.
That's so
like,
funny.
I would do a whole series of just that, of them just giggling the whole
Seriously. Let's get
time,
them in
trying to
some
make
Lego
the car
cars
go
for that.
faster.
Why not? Well, so we're at the second half of the season. Do you have any bold predictions for the second half of the season?
Oh, bold predictions. Oh, let's see.
Or any predictions right now? I don't know. I can tell you one thing. I think Yuki's. I think they're going to announce that he's not coming back next year.
I did put that in my silly season post. I don't think he's coming back. So you're reading my mind. We're on the same wavelength there. I mean, Yuki does
I feel
have
so bad.
right. I don't want to like kick any drivers out, but based off of the news and the way things have been going, now Mekis did start putting the upgrades onto Yuki's car, which helped some of his qualifying results. But I still feel like even though he has great sponsor support, that the Red Bull owners are going to want to see bigger results. And they might find that with Hadjar. So we could see Hadjar moved up to Red Bull with
Give
know.
Mekis.
that to our boy Hadjar.
I know.
That's a curse.
I didn't say I wanted to happen. I'm just saying we could see it.
How dare you speak his name in vain?
And I love Hadjar. He's so good.
He's so good.
He's amazing.
He's been great.
I think he's the best rookie so far. That's I
Ooh,
love
this is
seeing
a
him,
good
but
segue.
I just want him away from the Red Bull seat. Just keep him innocent and not like
Yeah.
Yeah, that's rough. I mean, I think the worst that would happen is if he spent 6 races in the car, if he was way off of Max's pace, which I don't think is going to happen with the 2026 car because it's going to be brand new.
Yeah.
Then he would go back to V-carb. So it would be kind of like, you're not losing much. I don't think they would drop him. They would just move him back the way that they've done with other drivers that they have.
I feel like the only drivers that I found to ever, honestly, I have a feeling a lot of this has to do with the car. I don't think it's necessarily the driver. I don't know. It's a mix of both because I think Daniel Ricciardo was great in a Red Bull, and his reasons for leaving, I feel like, were more just like favoritism with Max and him no longer being like the number 1 driver. But I feel like Daniel, him, Sergio Perez during that last generation of cars was doing very well. I think he was definitely one of the biggest reasons why Max got his first championship, and then
Oh, for sure.
I mean, it was all downhill after the cars changed, right? But in a way, it's like I always say, everybody kind of owes Sergio Perez an apology for,
Oh, yeah. I mean, do you remember the Mexican race where they gave they gave Max's broken wing? They had like a rear wing that was broken and Max needed one. So they took Perez's and put it on Max's car for the Mexican GP and gave like Sergio the kind of busted or grade B one, or it was like the wrong size or whatever. So it's like, I mean, Sergio sacrificed his home race without choice for Max to get those championship points. And I think that's one of the really frustrating things for new fans or even for seasoned fans is to see a driver be forced into that number 2 position. And I think that's something that Bottas also struggled with. They were on the radio with him, and I think in 2021, they knew every point counted that year.
Yeah.
And they told him, don't go for fastest lap, don't go for fastest lap, because Lewis needs that point. He needs the fastest lap point, and he went for it anyway. He just ignored them. So in a way, Bottas cost, and I don't mean he actually did, he was racing his race, but he cost Lewis the championship that year a bit too. So having a number 2 driver is critical when it comes to strategy, but the driver has to be willing to be in that position and take those orders.
Yeah.
100%.
And it needs to be made clear as early as possible. because we're going to run into a situation. Like
Well,
we're
you
running
say
into.
that, but look at Piastri and Lando
Exactly.
and their initial years.
Right.
So-
I think we're lucky though. I mean, if there was a third team at all fighting for the championship this year, I think McLaren would be in a pretty difficult situation trying to pick between the two, and you'd have to at that point. Otherwise, you're just gonna lose it all. And so, they're kind of lucky that Max just kind of went down and dropped out, and it's just them two.
Red
now,
Bull's
so
fault.
it'll be fun.
He seems laid back. He's like, I know I'm not winning. Like, what?
Yeah.
I mean,
Which is frustrating because he's an incredible driver.
incredible driver. And I think, damn, a lot of it has to do with Red Bull screwing up big time. A lot of that.
Well, screwing up how? Did they just like?
I think development, car strategy, there's been a lot of too much behind the scenes stuff, not focused on, like, I felt like too much attention was being put on the second driver and getting a good teammate, and obviously the drama with Christian and all the back and like, listen, I'm sure there was a lot of behind the scenes arguments going on between Max's father and like, you
Right.
know,
We don't know what was going on
yeah.
there. That was certainly, I bet there was something.
and all Max wants to do is just freaking give him a car, you know, and he would, and he would probably win. But I feel like the lack of, I don't know. I wish I knew. I can only speculate, but I just feel like it's like Red Bull reached its peak in the beginning of the year. And then it's just been like, I don't know, maybe they just thought, let's just leave the car as is. We've been dominating the past couple of years, so we don't really need to focus too much. Let's focus on next year's car, you know. And it's been, you know, McLaren obviously has been on that like consistent, like, you know, up, you know, with developing their car.
Yeah.
And they obviously got ahead of it, you know, ahead of Red Bull. And, you know, I don't know. I don't know.
I mean,
It's
at some
weird.
point you have to decide on when we stop worrying about 2025 and worry about 2026 because
That's true.
next year is going to be completely different. So
Yes, it's going to be totally different. And I think that is really why Max was meeting with Toto, because he was talking about not 2026, but 2027.
Yeah.
I do. And guess whose contract is up on 2027? George Russell.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's why they were really meeting. I mean, if you look at Lewis Hamilton, he announced, or it was leaked, or, you know, I forget which, that he was going to Ferrari the February before, like the year before the season started. So, you know, those deals, you have to start them very early and
Yeah.
start having those conversations way in advance. It's not like, oh, I'm about to lose my job in 2 months. Let me start talking.
Can you make some space for me, please?
Yeah.
It's a little bit different. And so I'm sure Max is curious. Like, everybody's talking about how, you know, the Red Bull engine will be the winning one for next year. That's where they're going to save the most time and have the most efficiencies with this, you know, switch over to more electric power. So if that's true, I'm sure he wants to see the car the first year, 2026, and then be ready to sign or sort of step into it. If George doesn't bring that world championship, well, then Toto's going to want a race winner and continue to stick with Kimi, I think, as the rookie in development.
Yeah. Kimmy's there to stay. There's no shot
Yeah.
Toto lets Kimmy go. No shot.
Yeah, you really don't want to lose, you know, a talented rookie.
Yeah. No, I agree. Kimmy's been doing well. I think outside of yeah, I know everybody. I always feel bad because he doesn't deserve all the crap that he's getting. You know, he's doing everything right.
Like, he's not bad, but he's not great. He's in that like gray area where he could be forgettable. Unfortunately, George, I love you, but
Come on, a pod.
I think George does what Bottas did, where they both, more so than Max, we'll say, play by the rules, and they assume that they'll be rewarded for doing things correctly.
Yeah.
But that's not how you win in F1. So, I mean, even though Lewis Hamilton is known for being a clean driver, and he's taking a lot of risk. Max, I mean, they've written rule books based off of the things he's done because he finds that gray area. You know, Alonso, I mean, he's really not in a competitive car right now, but it's so hard to get around him because he's just so aggressive and taking those risks. And I think that's where other drivers like George and maybe Albon and certain drivers struggle to take that risk versus doing what they think should
It's
be
what
done.
separates the norms from the greats.
Yep.
Right. I think, I'm just a commentator.
Yeah. I'm just a fan.
Awesome. Well, I mean, and I think that's a great way to kind of put a bow on all of this. I mean, we are all just fans, and we share our excitement about this whole entire thing. We're really, really excited and grateful for you to come and join. Yeah. It's been amazing to learn about you. I'm sure you're going to be doing great, great, great things. And yeah, I don't know if you want to maybe put a wrap on this.
Yeah. I guess for me, before wrapping up, I did want to get, do you have a rookie that's like your number one rookie so far?
Oh, I mean, so I'm like, I like all of them, okay. Honestly. I'm always like, let's bring in 5 rookies every year. This is so much fun. But I don't know who I would let go. So, but honestly, I've been the most impressed with Hadjar. Yeah. I know he's had a rough season, and I know he's not been perfect, but I've been incredibly impressed with his effort that he's been putting forth. More recently, Bortoletto, seeing him, I think Behrman and Kimi are both a little bit younger, still making a little bit more mistakes than those drivers. I think that they'll get there. I don't think anybody should lose their contract for the next year. But so far, my favorite. I've been surprised with Hadjar and just been loving watching him this year.
That was our boy since the start.
Yeah, it has been.
I mean, we love Kimi, but Matthew, you mentioned if you can see Kimi and Hadjar on the same car, that would be an interesting race to watch.
Oh, I'd love that.
That would be.
No, I think Hadjar's been just a bit more consistent. Kimi's in the Mercedes, obviously that's pulling him up there. But yeah, I want to see where Hadjar goes next year. I'm afraid it's going to be Red Bull, and that's going to be a whole thing. But we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, Mekis is there now, so maybe it'll be okay. Right. And he worked with Hadjar already.
Yeah, that is true. So, they got the Boricua.
I'm trying to be positive.
He looks so Puerto Rican.
Spanish, though.
I know he's Italian, I think, but he looks Puerto Rican to me. So
awesome.
He's adopted.
Well, Sarah, you have been amazing. Thank you so much for joining the pod and showing some support to smaller guys like us.
Yeah, you're doing us the favor. So thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, we appreciate you.
I mean, this is only my second podcast I've been on, and the other one was about hockey. So you were my first F1 podcast.
All
right. Cool. Yeah. Before you go, let everybody know where they could find you, where they could, follow you at. If you want to.
Sure. Yeah. So I'm at Sarah with an H, Sarah on the Grid. And I'm on YouTube and TikTok and Instagram and Threads. So kind of all over. My main platform is Instagram. It tends to, has both the videos and all of the guides that I have for everybody. And if you leave a comment asking a question, you're 95% sure I'm going to comment and try and answer it for you with either, like I said, a comment or a reel. So bring them on. This is a judgment-free zone. I just want to hang out with people who like learning about F1.
Awesome. And we can confirm she is not a bot. It is legit her writing back, all right? So Instagram, stop with the suspensions. Yes.
I'm just a nerd. I'm not a bot.
Sarah, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Oh, that was fun.
That was fun.
You see that purple sector from